Buddy, welcome back. Noam somehow turned into Jonah, but we're all for the better there, so
Ta-da.
we're all good.
That's
But
Noam slander.
I mean, we're for the better as in we can actually cast today because Noam is not available. But I appreciate you sticking up for him. But yes, this is the rebroadcast of Andromeda versus Fruitcakes. I think if you watched the stream very intensely last night, you would have caught the last 15 minutes of this series, so you may already know who wins. But we're just gonna kind of rapid fire go through the games. But here I will toss up the highlight slideshow. Our featured matchup is Stanley versus Kai. These players have only played against each other 4 times. One of these players has played 224 games submitted in the server. The others only played 26. Jonah, what are your expectations for this matchup? I think it should be really interesting.
Well, I know Stanley is going through his phases of playing League and then not playing League, and then he was in Japan for a while, so I think he's in okay shape, but it's going to be an interesting matchup, sir.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Kai has actually been losing out on it so far, but if... Oh, wait, shit. This is totally including the stuff from the series. Never mind. Before this series, they were 1-1. So scrap everything I said. We're going to forget that I didn't just show that. And I'm going to determine which game is first. And I just remembered that why we don't look at stats when we're rebroadcasting a game is because shit like that is given away. But key players on both teams are Sarvis and Mason. I think both of these players are very high regarded players in the server, although Mason's been having a bit of a rough season, and Sarvis has been having a very, very good season after a kind of silent one in Season 7. So I'm excited to get to see these two players square off against each other on the Rift. But do you want me to just kick it to draft?
Why not?
I
mean, we're not waiting on anyone.
That's true. Oh my god, this shit again. Oh, it actually loaded, thank goodness.
Okay, there it is.
I was worried.
Okay,
well, let me see if I can actually get the League file to run. So if you just want to kind of talk over draft, I'll see if the replay system is just fully broken again.
Just taking a look. I think most of the bans make a lot of sense. There's actually an interesting focus on jungle bans in this draft. Obviously, you normally see a lot against Mason, but there's actually a lot from Fruitcakes back towards Apari in this case. With the Kane, Kindred, and Skarner all being removed. Gwen being a potential flex. I don't know if Apari plays it, but I know Savaris has played it top, so it's a good thing to take off the table. Obviously, Syndra's a strong pick right now. I think Cassante feels like he's just destroying top lane after the rework. I think he feels really good. Eden getting Rakan, that checks out. Eden's a big Rakan player. Mason Viego, something we've seen before. Arne on Renekton, that's one of his signature picks. Kai playing Aurora. I believe we've seen Kai play Aurora in scrims before, so that's not super unusual. Oh, it looks like a pretty standard, reasonable draft, I'd say. Oh, except for the fact that Andromeda doesn't have an EDC, which I'm just now noticing.
Yeah, I mean, APCs are really good on this patch, so I don't think that's super surprising.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure if it's Lux or Syndra here, though, but I know Lithy's a huge Lux player, so I would have to guess that's what it is.
Lux. I think, personally, I'd prefer a Syndra in the bot lane, like as an APC, but I mean, I don't think it really makes a giant difference here. It's more just about where the players are comfortable.
Yeah. I might have to... I might have to restart my computer to watch a replay. So in that case, we could just cut stream and run through. I'm just going to skim through Riot Client and see if I can just kill everything. But I know you have to disable Vanguard, but you might have to have Vanguard disabled and not have played a game with Vanguard, which is like to watch a replay. That isn't one of your own.
What?
Yeah, no, it's pissing me off this year. Okay, I'm gonna try that. So stream should be back up in a bit. We might do some stitching together, but at least we did all the intro stuff. So I'll be right back. Well, luckily I was correct. Yeah, all you got to do is just Restart. Oh, okay. I didn't see this in drafts because I wasn't paying super attention. I was trying to figure this shit out. But yes, Apari calling something out in chat, which I fully agree with. Mason has been shit talking Viego this entire season. He's been calling it a useless champion. He's like, why does Apari keep picking this? And he just locked it into Apari to deny it from him. I guess his response here is that some things are inevitable. Should be fun. I know you've jungled a bit. What are your thoughts on?
I actually haven't been playing
the Viego.
much Viego at all, so I couldn't give you a ton of insight on this one.
Yeah, I mean, going back and looking...
Mason says a lot of things about champions, not all of which are true.
Udyr weak is, I guess, the same as Viego being weak here. Maybe he just wants to carry. Who knows? But if we do look at the bans, though, Kayn, you can count Gwen as a jungle ban, but I mean, realistically, it's probably servers playing that if they pick it.
Most likely.
But, Kayn was banned first round, so were Wukong and Udyr. But then second round of bans was actually 4 junglers. It was Kindred, Skarner, Shyvana, and Lilia.
A lot of junglers took hits.
Interesting that Skarner was banned against Apari. I'm at least not aware if he's playing it. I'm sure it was probably a research ban.
Strong.
Yeah, it might just be like it's a good champion, let's ban it if he plays it. But yeah, I mean, I guess you just go down to the pool and he just assumes that Apari has no champions left to play, but I mean, Vi is a pretty good counter to Viego from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, Vi is always reliable when it comes to just hit your CC.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm misreading the matchup, but huge play from Andromeda to start off this series. Kathy almost dying. Kathy's sticking with the traditional ADC here, although Ezreal kind of falls into the mage category, but he can't really itemize AP, so I don't think he gets the buffs that other mage bots do.
Yeah. The biggest thing about Ezreal is that, like, come late game, it feels like it's kind of hard for him to do anything against something like this Cassante. Like, sure, there's a good chance he'll never get caught, but at the same time, he's gonna be hard to kill.
Yeah, I mean, they are into 3 tanks, and I don't think they have any real tank shred. I mean, I guess you can build some on the Aurora.
Almost count.
You'll have a couple borks.
Viego-ish, depending on your build, but like.
Yeah, maybe he can turn into one of the people on the other team who also can't kill tanks.
Right.
But yeah, going back and looking at it, I remembered the Viego Vi matchup being really one-sided. Not that jungle matchup really matters, but it's super one-sided in favor of Viego, so I was just completely wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the logic is that if you lock down Viego, he's probably just going to build tanky enough that you can't really one-pop him, and then you've already burned it. And Viego being able to steal Vi just seems really good. And I'm sure there's a lot more jungle complexities on like clear timers and early aggressiveness and stuff that I just simply don't understand. But at least the 1v1, I feel like Viego would definitely have an advantage in.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the 1v1, he's just kind of has more abilities. Sort of. Like, his cooldowns are a lot lower, especially early on in the game.
Yeah, I do really like the Vi pick into Aurora and Ezreal, though. It's nice to just kind of be able to stick
I definitely still think it's a strong pick here, even if you're not getting the best possible jungle matchup.
Yeah, and honestly, into Mason, I think it makes sense to just not focus on trying to deal him. But yeah, no, Arne's landing really well here. He's doubling CS for now, but Sarvers should be able to cash in on a lot of this when it crashes.
Yeah, we should see a cheater here from Arne. He'll pick up probably a longsword. Maybe boots if he's feeling.
I don't know. He was on 900 gold.
Oh, is he really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Looks like he's just sitting on 300 of it. Just grab boots and a cloth armor.
Yeah. It's not a bad play. Important note is that Servaris did already use TP to get back to the lane. So.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's probably like an early trade or something that we missed out on.
Yeah. Apari already having... Or not Apari, sorry. Arne already having the advantage here.
Yeah, I'd imagine both of these teams are probably going to prioritize Grubs over Dragons. I feel like neither team has like a Dragon Soul or 2 that would even be really good for them. So I'd expect to see a lot of pressure on top lane.
Super stands out as being exceptional, except for the fact that, you know, Dragon Souls just are good value, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of the volatility is going to be in this early top lane matchup between Cassante and Renekton. Um, I mean, obviously Renekton is a very strong early game champion, but played right, Cassante is doing a lot of damage these days. Even
Yeah.
early.
I do believe I received a message from one of the players of these teams that said, "Are we the villains if we abuse the Cassante bug?" I'm gonna assume that was probably Mason. Realistically, the answer is obviously yes. But
What? I didn't even know there was a Cassante.
yeah, so if you build Moonstone on Cassante, when you E near somebody, the Moonstone chains the shield to them, which makes sense. Okay, Stanley getting collapsed on here just has to burn a flash.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the
just flash out.
Moonstone shield chains your E to your teammate. The issue is the shield never goes away, so you can just stack up like thousands of health of shields onto your carries before fights by just Eing next to them. I know PB played it, and I guess for his sake, I'll say it's a normal game. Maybe it was ranked, but he showed me his item screen. He had shielded like 15,000 health with Moonstone.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's a little broken right now, but being really good rotate up there is actually able to force the flash out of Mason, who is trying to solo the grubs. Was actually able to get 2 of them before Bean showed up, though, so advantage still going over to Fruitcakes for the grubs, which kind of counters out the early Dragon Andromeda was able to sneak.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you're in the early game, you're probably, in many cases, just trading the objectives here, so grubs for Dragon. It's typically an expected, reasonable trade.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news for Andromeda here is I feel like the souls that they really want this game are going to be like Infernal, Hextech, and I mean, Cloud would also be nice, but that one is not going to be one of the available ones. So they have about a 50-50 of getting one of the souls they really want if they're able to keep stacking. Stanley now getting stunned on. Apari might be able to finish it, or not Apari, it's Viego, it's Mason. Mason's able to pick up first blood, but now he's getting ulted on by Apari. Kai here to follow up, and Mason is going to grab the soul, try and get out. Gets a lot of damage out, and maybe Kai's able to pick this up. Flashes, 1 auto, 2 auto, and they're able to pick it up. This is a 2-for-1 in favor of Fruitcakes. Good stuff to start off this game.
Yeah, I mean, they just kind of played that well. I mean, Mason landing all of the CC he could there. There's not much else to say about it, just well played. As Servaris goes all out up here, Arnier forced to pop the Dominus, but it looks like Arnier will just walk this one out.
Yeah, I mean, Arnier tried to initiate something, and it's kind of just like force ulting
really
trades.
Scary.
Yeah. I don't know. And Renekton this early in the game is not going to have low cooldowns, especially when his only buy is Ninja Tabbies.
I think I would have liked to see just more early AD coming out from Arnier here as opposed to the Tabbies, but...
Yeah, I wonder if he's expecting Apari to camp him. He did play on this team last season, so I expect him to have some sort of insider knowledge on how they're planning to play. Maybe Apari sees him buy ID and just camps the shit out of him.
Yeah, maybe just a vendetta, you know?
Yeah. I have really liked this from Fruitcakes, them picking Arnier up. I feel like he was a really big factor in the series they were able to win against us, and I think the other series they won was against you guys, if I'm correct.
I believe so. I'm not sure if Arnier was actually on their team at that point. I think that was our... I think we played against them as our first series of the season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Arnier was not on the team. But anyway, he was pretty pivotal in them beating us. I did get to lane against him, which was pretty fun. But yeah, glad to see he was on the team. I was worried he wouldn't show up. But now he is getting ganked, so let's hope this armor is actually going to be able to do something for him. He does flash, but just gets followed by the Vi ultimate. I fear he is just dead.
Yep. Cease and desist comes out, and there's not much else that he can do here.
Well, there's that team vengeance we were talking about.
I think a Black Cleaver is going to be really important for this Renekton this game, especially into Cassante.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to help your Viego and Ezreal a lot. Kai just gets obliterated there. Does burn the ultimate.
Good pickup by Stanley
Yeah, I was just about to start
Definitely
talking about
using
how
that-
well Kai was doing
Yeah.
with his lead, but
Definitely
now
using that powerful Syndra pick well.
yeah, it's really good in the meta. He was joking in chat earlier that he gets Giga buffed for a patch while Syndra's still strong, but he was.
Let's be honest, Stanley gets Giga buffed as long as mages are strong.
That's true. The mage item buffs are going to be huge for him, and now Mason's looking for another gank here, but Bean still has topside presence. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. There's a lot going
have all
on
out
here.
available as well.
Yeah, I think he might have just used it. I just saw.
He did use it
Yeah.
there.
TP's coming into counter. He's falling down really low. They might be able to pick him up.
Out.
But Mason's the lowest in the fight, but no, he's able to pick one up, gets reset. He is able to play as the Kasante, but he's just going to have to leave. He's super low health, and Apari's just sticking here and finishing the grubs. And should just be able to kill Mason when he shows up. He's low health. Gets the stun.
Does Mason get the all-out modifier? It looked like...
Yes?
It looked like all-out was active after
Yeah,
Mason
he had
picked up
the... He had the blades.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, anyway, Apari, focusing on the grubs here, was able to get them 4. So they have the breakpoint plus the first dragon. Eden's looking for vision on the next one, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to contest this much, especially with Syndra online about to have that ultimate back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Syndra's looking really scary. Stanley farming quite well in this lane, has the first item completed. Aurora does not have her first item, which is an important note here. I'm curious how close she is to that item. She's got most of the components for it. Should be coming soon, but
yeah, looks like a couple hundred gold off.
For
Apari forced the flash here. Aurora now dropping
the
the ultimate. They're looking to kill Mason before this fight starts, but huge Scatter the Weak comes through. Ultimate not able to pick off Kai, and actually first kill coming down to Apari, and now that's more resets coming through. That's 2 kills for the side of Fruitcakes. And they're just able to secure the dragon and a couple kills, which gives them the gold lead back. You're not in a super commanding position here because the other team has the first grubs breakpoint, but that's exactly what you want to see for Fruitcakes.
Yeah, just a strong fight by Fruitcakes. The Recon engage doing a lot there to keep everyone locked down. Pari forced to spend the flash early, right before Aurora comes in with ult.
Yeah, even after they took the damage down off that ability, it still does a lot. I feel like something that has that much zone control shouldn't have a lot of damage associated with it as well.
Yeah, Aurora certainly does no small amount of damage. Stanley takes a good predict there on an Aurora who is still invisible. Arnie in danger, but the Kasante W will miss, so I think Arnie should make it under tower, yeah.
Yeah, with no ult available from Vi, I think it's hard to finish off that kill.
With both All Out and Dominus used there. Servaris most likely just going to take his back here. Stanley is now 40 CS up in mid lane.
That's ridiculous. Lithy's also farming really well here, up 20.
Absolutely.
I think when you do have players that are playing champions that they're super comfortable on from support and then transition to playing them as mage ADs, I think sometimes people struggle to farm, and it's really good to see that that's not the case with Lithy here. She's only like a couple CS under 10 per minute. Actually, at 10 per minute if you ignore the minute and a half where there's no minions.
Looks like Mason will start up the Rift Herald here. With Arnie forced to stand under tower.
Instead, he's now engaging onto Cerberus.
Maybe on
All out
Sarv.
not
No
available.
all out available,
Arnie
yeah.
is able to get the stun, and now the ult coming out from Kai just to finish this off. And is able to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really care too much about that ult cooldown now that Malignance is completed. Mason just going to get scattered. Should just walk back to Rift Herald here. Or not. Back to his clear. Or, nope. Back to Rift Herald.
On Ward, they will see him going back to this Rift Herald. But I don't think they're in a position to really take a look here. Pari pathing towards bot lane currently. And
oh, but that could be a kill here. Stanley not able to connect with the ultimate. I think it would have killed.
The invisibility just getting Kai far enough away there. Despite the CS deficit, Kai has picked up a few kills around the map now, and is looking quite strong.
Yeah, he's only a couple hundred gold back. Definitely not out of it by any means. And the grubs are paying off here. Lithy able to get a really good siege down. Kathy doing her best to farm out the wave, but Bean's now here to help walk this in.
It certainly helps all your mages to have grubs.
Yeah, although I feel like mages tend to take towers a bit faster than ADs anyway, but Apari now dropping the ult down, and this snipe from Lithy is huge. They're actually able to find the kill because of it Bean getting the kill, but I mean, you're just happy with a kill at that point.
Yeah, Kathy and Bean going flash for flash there means that the follow-up from Vi is, I mean, it's virtually guaranteed here.
Yeah, Arnie and Sarv still at it, looking for something, but I don't know if we're going to see a 1v1 kill in this game.
I think we're reaching the point where these two are
Eden going in with a huge engage, that's a triple knockup, but now Bean just completely flips the script, and I think Eden's just going to die, but now Aurora's coming in with the ult, was able to find one in return, so now it's a 1-for-1 so far. There's 2 members still left for both teams. Ezreal going wide. They're going to be able to find the kill on Kai here. I don't think he's going to be able to get out, and yeah, I think Bean's going to be able to pick that one up, and now Mason's looking for something. If he gets a reset, this is going to be huge. Pops the ultimate, but it's flashed away, but I think he's still going to be able to get it, but no, just out of range. And now Stanley's here and is just going to be able to get the, I think, Unleash Power is what it's called, onto Ezreal. We can just call it the Outplay button, let's be honest. Double ulti is burned in the top lane again. Is Arnie going to be able to get it? Getting a lot of damage and is just going to walk away. Isn't confident. Has flash, though. Gets the stun.
Oh, it's close.
Minions?
Oh. Sante's got the shield. Oh.
Yeah, they were going to go even.
Just another trade of ult for ult where...
Yeah, except this time Arnie burns flash, and Cassante not forced to do it.
Flash. But will TP back to lane, so Cassante will take his back here now.
Yeah, next dragon's coming up
a little safe.
in 5 seconds. That could be a point for either team to focus on. Aurora Ultimate's almost back up. Viego Ultimate is not, but Apari's flash is down because those were traded, but... I think the cooldowns are looking slightly better for Andromeda for this fight. Especially when Bean just completely spots out Mason. Not able to find the stun from either team just yet. And now the Aurora all coming down, Bean is just going to get one shot here, and that should be a free dragon for the fruitcakes.
Just a little bit too much CC for Bean to be able to get away. Out of position there with the Rift Herald crashing and Syndra being forced to sit under tower there. Just a little too far forward.
Yeah, Lithy could be looking for a snipe here, but no, just going to give it. Kai went topside to deal with this, so I assume Arnier rotated down into the mid lane.
Yeah, we do see Arnier in mid lane.
Stanley looking for something here, doesn't use the ultimate. Does still have that available, could be very useful. Baron coming up in about a minute and a half. But neither team is looking to take a quick Baron here.
I think Bean has an interesting array of rel items currently.
Yeah.
Not ones I normally see on rel.
Yeah, I think he's cooking something. I believe later in the series he will discuss his build in the all chat, but we'll have to see. It is nice to have the Bramble Vest, though, into Ezreal, Viego, Renekton.
Yeah, absolutely.
All three like to build healing items and will auto-attack you frequently. Sarv looking for a trade there. Doesn't burn the all-out. Might have just realized he probably isn't going to win.
I think the all-out there could have been a solo kill.
Yeah, but Mason's showing up now.
Mason is on topside now.
Stun coming out, is able to lock him up. Unstoppables through the Renekton stun. Sarv still has all-out. And just isn't going to be able to use it at all. Mason's starting off this game super strong, 4-1 and 5.
Choosing not to use it there. He probably, I'm not sure if he gets much out of it at that point. I think if he was going to use it, he should have just used it to carry Renekton through the wall there before the Viego even got there.
Yeah, the small victory here for him is that he's finally desynced the timer, so next time he uses it, Arne should not have ultimate available to him, so maybe that means something.
Yeah, we'll see if Sarv can make a play on this Renekton while that cooldown is unavailable. 2-item 4-kill Viego now, certainly looking quite strong here. The first person on the Rift to reach 2 items. It's definitely something to look out for, with Stanley being a close second here.
Yeah, Stanley's got a nice bounty on his head. Mason's up about 1,000 gold on anyone else in the game. But Stanley's farming really well. Lithy has slowed down just a bit, but I think bot lane has been engaged with the map more, so it does make sense. The CS gap mid is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it just keeps growing. It has not been closing up at all. Cassante should just be able to get this tower.
Yeah,
The is pop.
Yeah, now Arnie has ult back up for
here.
this. Yeah, the change to Cassante, I believe, means that he can't aim his W, which I do think hurts him a little bit here. He's trying to dash out.
Servaris is choosing to just wait out the Dominus, opted to walk away there. I think there's a world where Servaris could play to pick up a solo kill here.
Yeah, it almost seems like he just doesn't want to fight when Dominus is up, but he isn't really going to be able to find those windows, I don't think. Especially not late game. Because Arnis should be getting it up a lot.
Not a super high one, certainly.
This is a rare, low-performing top lane game from Sarver, so we'll have to see if that changes at some point.
I mean, we have a relatively low-kill game in general here, especially for a Scrims Zone game. So there's a lot more going on just on the map than there is, you know, in terms of solo kills or even big fights. There haven't been a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, Kai is doing his best to roam around and make plays, and I feel like he's been most of the tempo on his team. Mason's been trying to get a lot of stuff done on the map too, but it seems that they've slowed down now that they feel like they have a lead, but they're actually down in gold. Syndra and Lux quietly just getting a huge farm advantage. Should have a lot of impact. I think Lithy's probably going to try and get the second item completed before Dragon, and it looks like there's enough gold in the inventory to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Mason is definitely the point to watch here. He has been involved in every single one of Fruitcake's kills up to this point. He's definitely their strong point. And we'll see how this fight goes for Fruitcakes.
Yeah, Mason's caught out, though, is getting stunned here. Apari's up here, but now it's a 3v2 in favor of Fruitcakes. The Ezreal ult goes wide, and Mason's able to pick one, looking for resets. Apari falling down super low. Stanley getting stunned by the Rel, and Mason's ulting in, but yeah, she has the outplay button, so he just dies. And they double flash into Lithy's stun. That's insane! Arne just getting the shutdown onto Stanley, but
Servaris is here, 2 Fruitcakes members, very low. Dominus is used. Apari walking around on
Lithy
very
just
low
snipes. HP. And Eden's
No
the low one to
flash.
get caught out of here. Apari's taken down, and now Sarvis is walking up, trying to look for maybe a 1v3 here almost.
All out comes out
Bot
here.
lane both super low, probably going to die to Sarvis. Flashes in, is able to pick up one. I think Eden's just going to be out, but they're going to be able to finish up Arne here, and that should end the fight. They should get an Infernal Dragon here, making it 2 drags apiece.
A long, drawn-out fight there in the bot river.
Yeah, I mean, I
ending
think
in almost every summoner on the map used.
Yeah, Lithy still has both, which is very important, and Bean also has flash available, so this bot lane from Andromeda is very threatening. I think it didn't end up being as impactful as I thought, because I don't think Lithy had ultimate available when she did it, but she threw a Q, and I believe both Kai and Arne flashed into it. And anti-synergy from there, the ult not going out, but I think Mason is just picked here. He swore to me that he didn't sell game 1, but he just got caught out twice in a row, so we'll have to see if he continues playing well. Attempt to steal this dragon here.
Yeah, the 2-man route from Lithy was definitely a great attempt in trying to help get Stanley out there, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. Stanley falling too low as the swarm of Fruitcakes collapsed, but ultimately Andromeda came out with the fight win and a dragon there, with good gameplay by Servaris and Lithy.
Yeah, I mean, picking up that extra kill on Mason at the end definitely makes me feel good. He was one of the strongest members of the other team, so him losing that time on the map to continue to grow his lead is really impactful. Has to itemize a Maw here to avoid just getting one-shot by Stanley. I feel like when you're playing a Viego comp, as long as you're able to pick the Viego quickly, you're in good shape, and having a button that just one-shots him is a very easy way to do that. But jungle attention is still up on this top side. We might see them go for a play, but it seems it might just be a farming angle instead.
Yeah, I think a lot of this top lane is just going to be a lot of nothing from here on out as both Cassante and Renekton have sort of hit their spikes and both have large amounts of health at this point that take a while to get through.
Yeah, the good news for Andromeda, though, is that their top laner is going to continue to be relevant, whereas Arnia is just going to become slowly less and less relevant as it goes down. But huge engage coming out from Rel here, able to grab 2 stuns on the aftermath of it, and Kai just gets burst by Stanley. Mason looking for something. Scatter might be available, but no, Apari's just able to lock down Viego. He almost finds Stanley, not able to do it, and Mason isn't even worth a 300 gold anymore, and Eden pops the ult just too late.
A little too late, yeah. Just wasn't there at the start of that play, and Andromeda will now turn to Baron with 2 members of Fruitcake's dead here.
Yeah, the only 2 that really do much.
Baron for them.
Yeah, I mean, Renekton's strong, but Renekton is not going to be able to 1v5 if he doesn't have a huge lead at this point. And Kathy has just struggled into this Lux lane. I think just playing against a better champion. And if they are able to take this, this should balloon their 3k gold lead into like a 4.5 gold lead. At least they're able to find turrets around the map, but I don't think they were able to find local gold for that top tower, which is going to hurt them a little bit.
Kathy trying to knock down the mid tower here won't quite be able to do it, as Apari will pick up that wave.
Yeah, I mean, my question is, are they ever going to be able to pick up these key shutdowns onto Syndra and Lux? It felt like they burned everything last fight and weren't able to touch them. And I don't think Fruitcake's comp is going to get much stronger throughout this game.
Yeah, they were very split in that fight, though. Rakan showing up really late, unable to use any of those engage tools before the fight, leaving Aurora and Viego just kind of stuck. Maybe if they get a more coordinated fight, they can make something happen, but I mean, you're looking at a lot of different members of Andromeda that now do a good amount of damage, whereas you have a limited option on Fruitcakes.
Yeah, it looks like Bean is opting into the Spirit Visage, which is going to make the Aurora do a lot less. Super tanky members kind of complementing the double mages, and we don't see a real tank for Fruitcakes to build magic resistance. Arnie also opting for the steel caps, I think is a bit weird here.
Yeah, it was definitely a purchase for lane, but I mean, at this point in the game, they're not really doing anything for him. As Servaris will look to just start knocking down this tower. Dominus comes out, but Arnie is really just looking for the wave here.
Yeah, I feel like Sarv is just holding that ability, the ultimate ability for team fights to be able to find anything. But no, he just goes under tower.
I think under tower.
How does he not die? This champion is so criminal.
It's the healing.
Oh,
the Omnivamp that Cassante gets, when he W's people, I mean, he'll heal like 400 HP with that all-out W. It's so much.
Yeah, well, next drag's up in 30, and both tops burn ults, but Cassante resetting way faster. Arnie does have teleport, and now Eden face checking is just going to get stunned up. Stanley holding ult, which means that they almost don't get the kill, but Ignite's going to be able to finish it off, and Mason forced to ult defensively, and his Moss shield just popped. So this should just be a free dragon.
Yeah, with Ezreal on half health, you know, Viego forced to use that Heartbreaker to get away. There's not much that...
yeah, you still have one of your big engage buttons, but not both. With Eden being dead. Didn't use the ulti, so maybe if they're just able to stall, but Mason immediately realizing that the play's dead just goes topside and farms. Good way to make sure you don't get your top stolen by the Cassante.
And a third dragon coming out here for Andromeda, putting them on Soul Point here.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it does feel like the dragons are a little lucky for Andromeda here. It's exactly what they wanted, which is going to help them out a lot. But Sarv now popping the all out, looking to get a kill onto Mason. Huge damage from that Unstoppable, and is able to just pick it up. Might be able to get both with that Omnivamp you pointed out earlier.
Looking for two
yep,
here.
There's the W.
Yeah, that W. Oh.
Nope. Good job, Arnie.
Really very close fight, but the other members of Andromeda, while two people were forced to go top, brought in that bot wave. Looks like Fruitcakes will be able to hold it without too much difficulty, but the bot camps are taken here.
Yeah, it honestly, like, watching that fight, it feels like people forget that Cassante can't aim his W, because it's a lot of just standing still. I feel like previously people had always just not really tried to dodge it because he's going to be able to aim it anyway. But Liffy getting collapsed on here. Eden and Kai both going for the engage. Eden's ult still available, but killed before they're able to use it. And Kai is now picked 2. They tried to go in onto the Lux, but not able to find a kill there. Mason's looking for a flank.
Some kind of flank here.
Yeah, it's very telegraphed when you see the giant purple
the mist
bong cloud appear on the ground. And it's just him and Arne, so I don't think you're getting too much done, but it does do a good job of scaring them away, except your entire wave just disappeared in a single ability. Thanks lots.
Yeah, Andromeda's slowly extending this lead here. Sort of feels like Fruitcakes are starting to run out of options.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your way back into this game is. I think it was just turn back the clocks 8 minutes and hope you find someone. Yeah, it almost feels like you need Renekton and Viego to both get stuns down on Stanley and Lithy at the same time, and somehow all the tanks on that team just don't engage on them. In combination with the Aurora ultimate and maybe some Ezreal damage too, but feels like Kathy might need another item to come online here. Ezreal is not a champion that gets online very quickly. Mason's gold lead is under 1,000, but he has actually still been able to maintain it despite how the game's going for his team, which is impressive. He's now getting collapsed on by Cerberus.
Might be caught out here. I mean,
yeah, it's
Cassante can kind of go wherever he wants at this point.
Yeah, it's hard for either of those champs to get caught. Viego kind of has his little stealth out. Arne's on a ward. He doesn't know. That's a 4-man collapse on him, and he's just going to get burst. Sterix is just doesn't do anything. Eden with a huge engage here, but there's no follow-up. It looks like they're collapsing onto Stanley, and Mason going over the wall but not able to find it and just gets killed before he's able to take the body. So that's a 2-for-1 in favor of Andromeda, and now Kai lines up with Eden, and they both get hit by the Lux ultimate. Now Pari going down, they're looking for Kai. If they're able to find Kai, I think they might be able to pressure the end. But Apari now going into the base, and I just don't think they have it. They're in a bit too deep here.
Yeah, once again, Rakan just not engaging, but not quite with the team. It's the second time we've seen large charms into knockups from Rakan, but just nothing, no follow-up, no one nearby, nothing happens from it.
Yeah, that was your classic case of a split call. Eden hits the nuttiest ult of all time, and their team was actually in range to follow up on it. It's just that they chose to go for Syndra instead. I feel like if Kai's ultimate hits all 3 though, and you get Mason on top of it, I think you hit Reset City, but they were trying to kill the Syndra.
2 teleports come in, hoping to get Andromeda off this Baron here.
Yeah, I feel like Arne should be able to walk up and get a lot done here. Pops the Dominus looking to go in. Apari should be the target for them.
Will back up.
Yeah, Arne just too hesitant on it, not able to find anyone. And I think this Dominus is just going to time out before they're able to get anything done with it.
Is sitting in the bush, maybe fishing for a scatter of the week here.
Oh, and Mason does not find the stun. He misses and he gets scattered. Sarver is falling down low, but not low enough. Stanley able to find a kill on Eden to start the fight. That's the second kill coming down for Andromeda, but Mason's able to find a reset on the back of the fight. Kai falling down low. Mason not getting able to get too much done. He gets a scatter down, almost finds another kill. And yeah, just narrowly isn't able to kill Lithy, who is now just going to be able to walk out of the fight. And now it's just Kai and Kathy alive. And Apari is cleaning up. That might be a triple for Apari. Yeah, able to grab it. Kathy flashes into a wall, not able to escape here. And this might be a 4th kill for Apari, but he is running away. Crazy stun by Bean. Just going to trap him there. And Apari is just pathing directly down to Dragon. Doesn't even want to mess with any of this nonsense.
That was a bit of a closer fight for Fruitcake, showing that they can get some stuff done here when they are able to play as a team.
Yeah, Mason had a really good angle in the back of the fight. I think it's even better if he doesn't eat that first scatter because he hits his stun, but I don't know.
He
It's
still
probably
is
the
able
best
to
you
pick
can
up
ask
Syndra
for.
there, but unfortunately, after throwing out his scatter of the week, he gets locked up and is unable to do much more. There was a soul there, but chose to go for the Lux instead. And there's only so much you can do in the middle of a fight like that.
Yeah, now with Infernal Soul plus Storm Surge, like this is a 4-item Lux, 4-item Syndra. You're getting popped. They're both at 278 CS. I don't know. These champions are going to be so tough to get through. Both around that 14 to 15,000 gold mark. Both stronger than Mason now. It feels like
And
Fruitcake's
even
hopes are
Apari's
completely
at that same mark. Has
Wait.
slowly crept up to 9-3 and 9.
Yeah,
Putting
he
on a great
racked up a few
scoreline.
kills. I didn't notice because he's doesn't have too many items, but he's sitting on an entire item, so that kind of explains it.
Lux will continue to push in these waves.
Yeah, and Apari's continuing to just clear. It feels like they might have a Baron call, but they're not going to take it super fast with their comp, so maybe you just wait for the Vi reset, grab an entire full tank item. Something that makes it so Viego can't kill you preferably, and then just go for the Baron call.
I would expect something like a GA here for Vi. You're already at 4 items, you finished your core build.
Yep, and you called it perfectly. Well, you get to see top lane fight part 17. Looks like RNA's learned better and isn't going to go for anything, but...
I mean, at this point in the game, there's almost nothing that Renekton can do to this Cassante by himself. I mean, even as a team, this Cassante is almost entirely armor. In fact, yeah, almost entirely armor. Kai's the only person who's really going to be able to do much damage at all.
Yeah, Mason really wants this buff, is actually going to be able to grab it with the smite and get out. But now Apari flashing in doesn't burn the ulti. I feel like if you've committed the flash, you might as well go for it. Mason didn't have to extend anything there, but yeah, Bean gets the memo and tries to follow up on it.
Away is Arnie will pop Dominus and go in.
Yeah, almost able to find Lindy here. I don't think it's going to happen, but no, yeah, Arnie's able to grab it on the back of the fight. Sarver's falling down super low. They might be able to kill the Cassante as a team, and yeah, he falls down. Tower doing a lot of work there. Stanley is going to be so powerful here. And she just one-shots the Cassante because he's building full armor. And now Eden not able to find the charm yet. Might be able to find the knock-up here, but they just waited too long. And now Apari, Bean, and Stanley are all here. They're able to clean it up. That was 3 kills in an instant. You overchased just a bit too much. Looked like Stanley was isolated,
really
but...
Good. Oh, and another good scatter of the week.
One Q will do it. Yep.
This is probably going to be the end of the game. It looked like it was a good fight for Fruitcakes there, but just walking a little bit too far, and... what was 2 solid picks turned into a completely lost fight and a lot of the end of the game.
Yeah, Stanley had picked up the arm guard. It seems like they didn't realize that because as soon as he pops that, they just wait 3 seconds, then the entire team's got their cooldowns back and full engage on him. Well played from Andromeda there. This was a really entertaining game though. 40-minute banger. Perfect soul for them, but Kai and Mason had really good games there, and Arnier, despite the bad matchup, I think actually shone pretty brightly as well.
Yeah. I think if a few things go differently, Fruitcakes could have a strong game there. Just a few too many missed engages where there's not enough follow-up.
Yeah, who do we give MVP to there?
I mean, I'd say either Apari or Stanley.
Yeah, it would have to be.
I'm inclined to lean towards Stanley just for some of those bigger stuns, but Apari definitely playing super well.
Yeah, it just somehow felt like he did it like more quietly. I don't know. I think he just spent a lot of time towards topside, and mid and bot got the leads on their own. So I think I'm with you to call Stanley, but I mean, everyone on the team did really well. I think there's an option to just go for Bean too. His engages that game were insane.
Yeah, Bean definitely hitting some solid engages throughout that game.
I don't know. I'm with you. I think we just throw it Stanley's direction. He had a very good game, and you know, nothing disagreeable about picking him. But heading into Game 2 draft, looks like the Lux is the first pick here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly like to say, I need to stream again, by the way, but I'd certainly like to see Less jungle bans from the side of fruitcakes, and more bans leaning towards the other picks like Syndra and Lux. Let's see what they went for. Yeah, I think this is definitely looks like a better list of bans here. Opting to only take out the Kayn and instead get rid of the Syndra, Asol, Kassadin, a lot of these picks that Stanley is more than happy to play in mid.
Yeah, it looks like both jungles decided to pick early. It is interesting that they immediately assumed that the Sylas was for Mason, but I guess we know he likes to play it, and that Lux, I
Yeah,
guess you assume, is going bot? I don't know. I mean, Kai can also play it. I just think it's weird that you're heavily banning out mids. I guess you just know that he's not playing the Sylas. I don't know. Just interesting to see the Akali and Aurora taken off. I mean, they correctly
I think
identified that I don't think Kai is playing, but then Caitlyn's picked.
yeah, I mean, it's got to be Caitlyn Rell in the bot lane, which would lead to a Lux mid lane, Jax
Yeah,
top,
I
yeah,
mean,
Silas jungle, but
full honesty
obviously you
here,
can't see that
I know
immediately.
the Caitlyn's mid lane,
Oh, okay.
but
See,
I
that's
don't
why
I
this
don't
is.
know how Andromeda knew that they hadn't picked mid yet. The Akali and Aurora bands are interesting, but
I mean, Silas is this flex pick, right? You can kind of see him
yeah.
in three different roles. Now, I don't know how much Kai and Arnie are willing to pick up Silas, but when you lock in two strong ultimates like Seraphine's and Leona's, I mean, Silas just starts looking good.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good Sylas spot. You're picking it with only 2 ults showing, but they're 2 really good Sylas ults. Unfortunately for him, the rest of them aren't. You could
Yeah, I mean,
argue
once
that
you start to
Poppy's
see the
is
Silas,
okay, but
you kind of start to draft around it from there.
yeah,
Um, Maybe
yeah,
opt for slightly worse ultimates.
yeah. I mean, just looking at this, it feels like Andromeda has the better draft here because you kind of just want to have Caitlyn and Lux sit back, and then you have Sylas and Jax as your front line, but there's so much interruption for those champions with the Poppy and the set. Just really able to lock them down. Leona helps a lot with that too. But Leona, Viego, and Seraphine give you such good backline access onto the Lux and Caitlyn. And Lux and Caitlyn aren't really going to be one-shotting anyone in this game, which I think really hurts them.
Now I'm sure. Now it's not right, but I think it would have been funny if they let Apari play his set jungle here, and then someone played lane Viego.
No, we get mid lane set, which is just as good, in my
That
opinion.
is quite good.
Yeah, and I will toss this into game.
If I'm not mistaken, earlier in the season, Stanley was playing some of these traditional top laners in the mid lane, things like Yorick and.
Yeah, it's definitely not new for him to do stuff like that. I don't know if that was in team games. I don't know. I can't swear on it, but I feel like I've seen this Caitlyn set mid matchup before. Um, Mason saying that Eclipse is recommended on Sylas. You know, not surprising. I've actually had people play Essence Reaver Sylas into me before too, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, Crit Silas is one of those, like, off meta, you're trying to have some fun builds, right? Like, but
Yeah.
seeing it built seriously is always interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was not a... maybe it was ranked. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting game. Probably flex. But yeah, I mean, Caitlyn's
This
set
is a
is...
tough mid matchup here for Stanley.
Yeah, see, it's actually not. I did play it, I think... I don't know. I started thinking about this yesterday because I could have sworn I'd seen it before. I think I've played it before in like a ranked or a norm or something. You'd think it would be atrocious for set because you're playing into a marksman, but his passive just kind of neutralizes the entire matchup. And if Caitlyn goes to chunk you, you pretty much just flash E on her and then your W one shots. So it's
A
not
lot of
as
damage
bad
from that
as you
early
would
game
think.
PQ. Zarnia will walk on Sarv there. Not a ton of damage though.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect top lane to be pretty passive. I feel like this is a matchup that we've been seeing at Worlds a lot. It's just kind of neutral.
God,
Jax,
that's Silas first clear, man. I'd
it's
play more
rough.
Silas jungle if it weren't for that first clear.
Yeah,
It just looks
Apari's
so atrocious.
yeah, Apari's just on his red. I think he knows that it's a weak thing. His team has set up no vision on his buffs,
Bean
though,
going
so he
in,
isn't
taking a
able to
tower
see
shot
it.
there. As Kathy and Eden will just be able to sort it back up. Bean ticking very low off that ignite, but Apari's found Mason as jungle. Both players flash, and Apari will just pick up first blood on Mason's red.
Yeah, I mean,
Shows how weak that Silas pick is early in the jungle.
yeah, it's definitely something you need your team to cover for you, but doesn't look like the communication was there to ensure that that happened.
Stun will not quite connect, and Apari will just walk away, retreating back to his own jungle. Except maybe not?
Yeah, they're able to get some damage down, but not enough to get anything done. Actually, Stelius, he just kills.
Oh, that's rough for Caitlyn.
That's crazy.
Getting killed this
Kai
early
stood
the
in
lane
place
is
to auto there.
Brutal. Poppy low on mana up here, but it's not much of a lethal threat from Jax at this point.
Yeah, I don't think Jax really starts killing Poppy until like 2 or 3 items. If you're able to kind of play around it and Sarv doesn't get a good
Mason
E
walking into
or set
Apari's
fast
jungle
presence.
here. Could be a fight over those Krugs. As Mason will just spot him and choose to walk away.
Yeah, neither junglers bought any items. Mason has been back to base, but didn't have any gold because he had taken 2 camps.
2 camps.
Lithy is getting chunked here. It feels like Kathy's pretty comfortable on this Lux. Mage versus Mage is a much less interactive bot lane. I don't expect to see either of these players getting a kill
funny because
before
you have
like
Mage
12
versus
minutes.
Mage plus 2 engage supports who are positioning like they really want to go in on each other.
Yeah, I think these are 2 just players who like playing their engage, but usually when you pair a mage support with an engage support, or a mage carry with an engage support, you just rotate the supports.
Quite low there, as that Luxor will not quite connect.
Mason's caught
Silas
out here.
is down here.
But Apari's going to be here to turn this fight, maybe. Stun, going to be charged up now, is able to find it, and Kathy is going to die. Doesn't grab the soul.
Gonna be 2 quick kills to Andromeda here, as Silas will run away.
Yeah, I caster cursed it. I said neither APC is getting a kill until 12 minutes, and then Lithy gets one in literally less than 20 seconds. I forget I know anything.
Apari already sitting on this 2-0-2 scoreline. Definitely accelerated. Curious to see what his first base is going to look like.
And Stanley should be up some gold here. Just investing in some health, more regen, which I think is what you want. Not able to completely gap close in there. You are super dependent on Flash as set in this lane, which he does still have. But
yeah, Bean here just to kind of help him push this wave out, see if he can get a good reset in.
Yeah, Stanley is getting jumped here.
Nearby.
No mana present for Kai, so it's going to be really hard for him to find too many advantages here. That was a trap that Stanley just stepped in, but I think he's fine. Arnier has Sheen. He does nothing. But it is a really good
that 1W did a not little amount of damage.
Yeah, sorry. Deep League of Legends YouTube lore reference. He does an incredibly amount of stuff with the Sheen.
Worst item in the game, Sheen.
Yeah. Pari should be able to find this. Counter-Strike going out, and that was a point-blank ward. The Hop doesn't even get to come out, and Arnie is just collected here. Look at the score lines from Fruitcakes. If you like things that are like oddly satisfying, it's that. The 0-1-0 all the way down.
Yeah.
Hey, at least no one gets to say, my team's at fault here, you know?
Right. No flame going on.
Yeah, exactly. And just a heads up, at some point during this, I'm just going to swap over to the cast that we did for this last night. Just let that finish it off. Which I am checking when that is. But it is the last 16 minutes of the game or so.
That double root
loading into
does connect. Lets Kathy and Eden walk away there. Mason is able to pick up Apari's blue buff there, giving a little bit of payback to what happened early in the game here.
Yeah, 12:09 is the timestamp. So we get about 5 more minutes of casting. Arnie just getting dove under tower here. Apari, really good kill there.
Just not quite able to make it back to the tower.
Yeah, Apari's 3-0-3 at 7.5 minutes. He's gotten 1 KP for each real minute of the game. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean, this Poppy damage, especially early in the game, is just so high. You really can't underestimate it.
Yeah, he's somehow using the Sheen better than Jax, which, I don't know, shocking, to be honest.
Oh, that Leona E just going a little bit wide there. Not quite able to connect. What is that thing called? Zenith Blade?
Yeah.
That's what it's called. 2 members of Fruitcake's flashing forward there, but unable to find Lippy. As Servaris is forced to back away in top lane. This could be a kill for Arnie.
He flashes behind him.
Even though the Poppy ult still connects, Arnie is able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, he just whacked him in the head with a big stick. That tends to kill people. Bean now going in for the engagement. It looks like he's just going to die instead. Mason was still holding on to that Seraphine ultimate.
But it's not one you wanted to take with Mason still sitting in that bush.
Yeah, but now Apari's here, and he is Giga fed. And Mason just face checks. He's actually able to find Apari. But Apari's looking for someone else entirely, trying to finish off this kill. And Cappy just flashes
on
to make sure he gets the reset. Doesn't have ultimate available to him. Doesn't matter. And now Stanley's going for a solo kill in the mid lane. He gets behind Kai, but he does get rooted up by a trap. There is a bit of end delay on that stunk, or whatever you want to call it. Suplex.
But Caitlyn is forced to flash away there.
Yep, Sarv getting a nice stun to the wall.
Is now back in lane. Chooses not to fight with Arnie here, and instead just wants to collect his wave. That facebreaker just missing.
And Stanley's down a bit of CS, but has actually been outlaning here. A lot of help from his team, though. Don't want to say Kai's getting like outplayed or anything. A lot of resources are dedicated there. Mason's been spending more time bot, which makes sense. That's where the 2 good ultimates are.
Yep. Silence has now reached the point where his clear is starting to look a bit better. It's ticked over to that level 6, as we've seen. Make good use of that Seraphine ult relatively early.
Yeah, and Kathy looked like she was doing really well at the beginning of the game, but has been struggling since then. Even though Mason was able to come down and make plays, I think it just hasn't translated into a CS lead or anything. Thinking just to test that to how aggressive Bean's been, it's really hard to walk up the lane safely.
Yeah, certainly, and that Seraphine poke is... Can't really mess with it either. I mean, it does...
Oh, really good ult from Lithy there, and they should just be able to find a kill there. Lithy able to pick up 1, and they might be able to find Eden 2, but...
forced to walk away here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cooldowns left, so Eden should just be able to get out. And Sarv and Arnie getting back into it. Sarv burns the ulti, and I think that just completely fizzles the play.
Here in top lane.
Same old story, different game.
Yeah, once again, they're just trading ults between the top laners. Not much else is happening.
Yeah, Sarv is playing super aggressive.
Looks like a set of grubs will finally be taken. Yep,
Sarv flashing in, forces the ward hop out. I think if Arnie didn't have his ward there, I think he just dies.
Yeah, there's a second set though, and you know, Fruitcake, or no, Andromeda.
Oh, are you looking for a dive? No.
Andromeda has managed to collect every objective so far. really shows just how much stronger, I mean, especially in Apari's position, but just how much stronger Viego is in the early game compared to Silas here, with 6 grubs and the first dragon collected.
Yep, and I think that actually just brings us up to parity with the rest of the stream. So thanks, Jonah. I'm now going to turn you back into Noam. So
Oof, I've disappeared.
yes, thanks for helping out here, and we will let old me and Noam take over the rest of the cast. But bye-bye.
Bye.
We will see. Looks like we're playing mage bots and Caitlyn mid. Bit interesting, but we are used to seeing some pretty eccentric stuff from Kai in the mid lane. So should be interesting. Apari is on the signature Viego and he is fed as hell. I think that's definitely something we could have predicted going into this game. But good binding from Cappy coming out. We're actually double mage bot here, and Stanley's playing Set mid. So very weird game. Set does have a lot of health regen, so can kind of deal with the poke decently well here. Arne getting into it with Sarvis almost finds a kill. Has the Grandmaster's Might active, but Sarvis is able to just walk out here. I don't know, Bean walking in pretty aggressively here is going to find Eden. Eden trying to engage onto Stanley, and Kathy throwing out bindings from the behind, but Mason has the Leona ultimate, which is super powerful from Silas. He goes over the wall and gets hit by the actual Leona ultimate, and Bean tries to flash and find something, but looks like Fruitcake should just be able to walk out of this. Lithy now getting engaged on, and she's almost taken down, but Zeravian shielding's way too good. Mason able to get picked off here, and Kathy's now falling down. Apari getting resets, and this is 2 kills over to Andromeda. Make that 3 double kill for the Silas, which is actually the Viego. Now Sarvis trying to make something happen here, but Arnier is just going in, gets the stun off. He should be able to find Sarvis here, but the damage is so close. He's able to find the W, and he just decides against it. He's going to walk out here. Caitlyn ult was able to hit one of them. Arnier looking for it, doesn't have flash. Pops in, gets stunned. Sarvis able to pick him up, and now the lead for Andromeda has kind of spiraled out of control here. But anyway, should have the assets fixed, so going to hop and call, and if anyone wants to co-cast with me, would be awesome. But we will in fact see.
Hello.
Hello. I mean, we have no way of winning who won game 1, so I don't really want to guess at anything, but we will see.
You don't want me to tell you who?
Oh, you know for sure? Oh,
yeah, they
wait.
sent draft links for game 2.
Oh, okay. Yes, so Andromeda is actually up in the series. I'm gonna go update that real quick then. And they now have 2 drags, 6 grubs. Andromeda's in devastating control of this game. Mason loves to clown on Apari's Viego, but he's actually like 0-3 against it in just team format this season. So little funny fact there.
Sounds like Mason's a fraud.
Who could think that? Certainly not I.
Certainly not.
Allegedly, I just downloaded the assets, but it didn't show me anything, so I think it actually broke.
Amazing.
That's probably because I...
So, Stanley set mid, that's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably played it before. I feel like
he definitely has.
I've actually think I've seen this Caitlyn set matchup before. I don't know if it's happened in the server, but it's definitely happened with people involved in the server. It's one of those weird matchups where you like think it would be pretty solid for Kate because she's ranged, but set gets a lot done here and it makes it really hard for Caitlyn to do anything, especially with the shield. Bari forced to ult out here. Arnier ulting into a started. Sarvis able to knock the Caitlyn out of the fight. And now there's a lot of fighting going down here, but it looks like Apari is able to reset once, and now he's resetting twice. Mason was picked off to start off that fight, and that's a 3-for-0. Apari is just cleaning up here. Very strong player. Lithy is on the Seraphine looking to do a pretty good job here as well. Interesting to see both these players play double mage bots. Both of them are support players too. As we're saying this, Kai is just picked off. Seems like ADCs are not the move here, but I think the adaptation from playing support to playing mage ADCs is pretty small besides farming. So not surprising to see with these players on these picks.
Yeah, and mage ADCs are just, or mage APCs are just really good right now, so it makes sense.
Yup. Okay.
It's looking a little hard for fruitcakes.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done that. I feel we turned on the stream after the series has already been decided. Just for people who aren't in the loop, if Andromeda is able to win this series, doesn't need to be in 2 games. They are able to secure 3rd place in the season, which will put them versus Rift Sharks in the semifinals of playoffs. That has been pretty one-sided so far, but Andromeda has improved a lot over the season, and both of their games versus Rift Sharks were early. As Mason tries to get something, he steals Viego ulti, but it's definitely not as good onto him. Vitapari falling down low, might die to the Caitlyn ult, but no, really good body block from Stanley there, showing why it's a good counter pick, and Bean's just getting shredded here. Arnie looking to go in, find something. He's getting just mauled by Sarvis, but he might be able to find a kill into Stanley. Is not quite going to find it. The grit stacking up so much, but Sarvis really good cancel into Mason, able to find one, might be able to find a second one. And no, he just ults 3 people out, and Kai's going to be able to find a kill. Barely.
Also forced the flash out from Sarver, so 2 flashes, 2 kills. Only Arnie dies, and you just doubled your kills in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the fight's hard to play, but 10 of the 17 kills are on Arnie. Now Stanley's here with a huge flank. Doesn't able to find the stun because they're both on the same side. Kai just gets ulted on, and that's 2 more kills for Viego. 12-0-4.
If they're able to shut down the Viego, though, this is definitely playable. It's just really hard to do so. You don't really have any point in click CC. Your best bet, I guess, is Rel engage into Jack's follow-up, but it's just really hard.
Yeah.
Especially if Viego has ulti off cooldown.
Yeah, it is a bit rough. The Sile spot is a bit interesting. You really only have 2 good ultimates, and they're both in the bot lane, so I'd imagine that he would have camped bot a lot, but his bot lane is 0-8, so I would imagine he probably didn't camp it effectively if he did. Apari seems to be running the server a little bit. Kai is the strong point on Fruitcakes. Unfortunately, Caitlyn does fall off a little bit, so I don't know how much long-term pressure he's going to have, but the wave almost just got cleared there, but Grub's still able to body block it.
If they can delay the game for another 30 minutes, Caitlyn will power back up.
That's true.
It's a really big if, though.
She might be able to one-shot somebody once. Mason should have actual chase down into Sarvis here, but it's so hard to get on top of Poppy with the field. The other ultimate is obtained from Bean, and he goes in, finds the stun, is not committing to the ultimate yet, is not able to find the center of it, not a support player, SMH, and he goes in, and Caitlyn, trying to find a kill here, is not going to have the damage, and Eden takes the kill. Womp womp.
A little unfortunate there.
Ari, in an intense 1v1 with blue buff, is able to take it up. Might be trying to find his way to Dragon after this, but... No. Technically, there is an advantage on the board here for Fruitcakes, just in terms of numbers, but I don't think that means anything. Apari is off vision here. I don't think they're able to see him.
They're also down like 15 ults.
Yep. Yeah, and now Sarvis just shows up out of the bush. They had no vision on him before, and he's able to find that pick onto Kai, secured by his team. And now Apari's looking for resets. Arnie was able to find one, and actually is able to get out. Mason might be able to find a kill in here. Still has Seraphine ulti, has yet to use it. Might just be holding for next fight, but no. Now he used it. Stun goes down to Apari. Apari gets resets, going to be disastrous. He's only able to find one, and this might be enough. Rel is now looking to go in. Ult pops the ult. That's another reset, and he should just be able to clean this one up. But no, Kathy getting good damage down.
There was a window, but I think it's closed. I mean, the game's not over yet.
Yeah, but Stanley's just...
The gold lead has stayed pretty steady, but yeah.
Taking the map.
Losing top inhib, then they can rotate Dragon to Baron maybe, just because they have the set and the Viego.
Yeah, this is one of those fights where it looks really good, and you're like, oh, we got back into the game, and then you didn't realize that you just lost your entire top side because it was a 5v4. Still good value to be getting in that 5v4, considering the gold lead, but...
It was a 5v3 at one point. The Leona wasn't even there, she was respawning, but yeah, they weren't able to get the shutdown onto Apari, and because of that, you have to give over the drag, and now they're on soul point as well, so...
Yep.
What's the saying? When it rains, it pours? Right now, there's a little bit of Hurricane 2.0 in this game.
Too soon. Tornado 2.0 for Sarvis, except he's one.
Yeah, that worked.
He, like, reflected it. I don't know.
Sarvis has embraced the power of the storm.
Oh, he's not playing Volibear, though. Eden not able to find the stun there. Probably looking for something. Mason is looking really aggressively here. it decides to go for Leona instead, but the CC just doesn't find anything there, and now Mason just gets completely collapsed on, gets chained, and is just going to die. Sarvis able to find a solo kill onto Arnie on the other side of the map, and Lux ulti maybe going to be enough damage, but no, now Apari gets resets. It is rough, but he walks into a root, takes so much damage, but he's Rel, so he didn't take much. No, who was
Sarvis was taking? He was Rel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they have like double split push here. Kathy doing her best to slow it down, but they're just going to kind of walk him down here. There's no inhib available. Lithy might just be able to get a double kill if she plays it right. Flash is forced out from Kai. Stanley just going to pop this, and yeah, Stanley 305. And Apari is running the server, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, this Viego champ is definitely bad, by the way.
Well, maybe when you're picking Silas Jungle into it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not having seen draft, I'm not sure if it was picked up early as a flex. Champion is playable in 3 lanes. But Mason
Kai
going
doesn't
in,
love Silas, so picking it is a little strange if you're doing it as a flex.
yeah,
I feel like you should just pick Fiddlesticks. That champ is busted on this patch.
maybe it was banned.
Maybe they're knowers.
Well, we'll have to go back and catch up on the rest of this game. I don't know. The games tonight are a little scuffed, and the draft having, or the stream having issues was not helping. What I'm hoping is that Taxi just had the same issues that Jacob had, and like anybody else would be able to do it. But
Certainly possible. Although I believe he was able to get in game.
right, but Jacob's also, he was able to get 1 game and then wasn't able to get a different game. I don't know.
Yeah, but
we could see.
he wasn't able to load in. It was
Yeah.
Anyway.
Regardless, Andromeda
Baron's
is just going to have this Baron. I don't think it's reasonable to contest. RNA is just backing in the top lane. I don't know if they even know. Toggling fog, no, it's completely dark. They're
They
just
probably
trying
have an idea though.
Mason on red buff, the classic. Mason taking the buff opposite of the objective, at least this season.
He has to scale, bro.
True. I don't know how much scaling you're doing into the 1506 Viego. Sarver's trying to find something here. Eden was able to rob one of the shields from Cerberus. Cloud Soul is going to be up in under 2 minutes. Andromeda should just be able to lock this one in. They are fighting with a vengeance here, though. They are really trying to make something happen.
It's looking like the last defense will happen very soon here. All the waves are converging almost together at the same time. Mid is a little behind.
Yeah, bot lane's a little ahead, but I mean, Stanley can just walk up, take a tower shot, walk back, and reach on everything. Like,
They're
Set
13,000 ahead.
That's a pretty good
doesn't matter.
champion.
Maybe we get the fabled 20k gold lead?
Jesus.
Probably not. I don't think so.
That would be unrealistic. Mason looking for a solo kill on the support. I mean, we'll see if that's even possible. Entire team is collapsing on him. This was an ambitious play at best. Leona just gets to not die. She's like a mini Alistar ulti. Kathy going for the wave clear, but Baron buff making it impossible for her to wipe it out. She's only at an item and a half.
Yeah,
They're all grouped up, but
the ult will take forever. Not forever, it's still Lux, but
yeah, now Bean's going in. RDA actually huge 3-man stun there. They were able to sequence out their ultimate. Sarvis looking to knock people back, but yeah, that's gonna do it. I think the game might be over here. Stanley getting a lot of damage down, and Apari transforming again. He's 1706. I don't even think we need to say who the MVP is. Y'all already know he is running this lobby.
that was a really crazy animation on Set ulting the Rel, but
Yeah. And they're able to clean
This'll
up,
just be the
and
game.
Kai is just going to die too. Kathy is not going to die. Mason asking no 1v1 with Leona, and Bean said he was not far enough in the microwave build. And Andromeda has locked 3rd place, so congrats to them. Everyone make sure to tune in. Whoa, my whole computer just lagged. Make sure to tune into the series
we're live.
on Sunday to catch up with everything. Does not matter for standings, but still should be a banger game. It's between the 1st and 4th place teams this season. But yeah, that could be a preview of what we're going to see in the semifinals, or it could not. It really depends on how things go. But anyway, thanks to anybody who just tuned in for the end of that, and congrats to Andromeda for ending the season. I'm not going to pull MVPs just because we didn't get to see the whole series. I don't think that's super fair. But all right, gotta call it.
Sounds good.
GG's to all 4 teams that played today. Fun series. We'll try and get everything casted eventually. But bye bye.